Hey, hey, hey. There we are. Let me just set up the old iPad there. Happy Easter, everybody, while I'm setting this out, or setting this up. Hey, Jane. Just setting up the iPad, giving it a few minutes for people to come in. Can you hear me? Yeah, people are probably eating their Easter dinner. I haven't had anything yet, so I live alone, so no Easter for me. Oh, thanks for answering that. Yeah, let's just give it a few minutes, Jane, and see if, let me adjust the camera a little bit more. I need some better equipment. I look like I'm going a little sideways here. It's just you, me, and the iPad. Yeah, I didn't know if this will work out on Easter or not. Hey, 3 people, including myself. Type your name into the chat. Let's bring some people in here. I'm going to go over the latest on Nancy Guthrie, if we can get it going today. I don't know, maybe I should have waited till Monday, a non-holiday. What do you think, Jane? Will people come in? Wow, I've already got 2 thumbs up. How the heck did that happen? Hey, Bobby. How are you doing? Welcome in, Bobby. Where are you coming in from today? Just waiting to get a few more people in here to get this thing going. I know it's Easter, so there's probably a lot of people having their Easter dinner right now. I live alone, so I didn't cook anything. I'll make something later. I'm waiting for some Amazon deliveries, actually. Oh, you're in Nashville. I'm in Los Angeles. Hey, 11 people in here. Let's get this thing going. My name is April Davis, PI. I'm a licensed private investigator in Los Angeles, California. And I am doing a true crime series on the Nancy Guthrie case. And today there was a heartbreaking statement that was made by Savannah Guthrie. And let me just make sure that the volume is turned up on my iPad. I'm not even looking at the chat on my iPad right now because let's just get right into it. Let's just get this over, and I want you guys to listen to this.
Standing here today, I have to tell you, there are moments in which that promise seems irretrievably far away, when life itself seems far harder than death. These moments of deep disappointment with God, the feeling of utter abandonment. For most of us, there will come a time in our life when these feelings hold sway. In my own season of trial, I have wondered, I have questioned whether Jesus really ever experienced this particular wound that I feel. This grievous and uniquely cruel injury of not knowing, of uncertainty and confusion, and answers withheld. In those darkest moments, I have thought, bitterly and perhaps irreverently, that I have stumbled upon a feeling that Jesus did not know.
Wow. That gets me a little emotional because I have felt that way multiple times over the last decade of my life with everything that's happened in my life. That was a hard year. My heart absolutely, let me catch the iPad up here. Let me turn down the volume. My heart breaks for Savannah Guthrie. And tomorrow, she goes back to work on the Today Show. Yeah, tears, says Jane. Coffee with Jackie. Yeah, that's some good news. We have some good news in Southern California. We have a new hatchling. One was born on Easter and one was born on Easter Eve. So Jackie and Shadow have two new little ones up at Big Bear Lake. That's the good news today. Hi Jess, how are you? Who else did I miss coming in here? And I am doing this vertically on a cell phone, so sometimes I don't get all the messages that come in on like the desktop. So if I haven't responded to you, it's because I can't see you most likely. Hey Franklin. We have two Rices in here. Are you related to Jane Rice Franklin? I don't know how she does it, Savannah. I know. And I lost my way many times over the last few years with my health and the death of a close friend that helped, bring me back up again while I was still fighting my cancer. And then we had such a short time together as friends, and then was taken away. And her life is kind of on hold because she not only has she lost her mom, but they don't know where she is. They don't have any closure. And oh, you're not related to Jane Rice. Okay. Well, where are you coming in from, Franklin? Uh, yeah, that's a hard listen on Easter. Hopefully you could hear the audio fairly well because my microphone was here and the iPad was behind the mobile phone. Oh, New Jersey. Spent a lot of time there as a kid. I actually had a lot of good times in New Jersey, Franklin. So, yeah, there's not a lot of news as far as the investigation or evidence. Most people are just reporting that they're waiting on, hey, Kellyanne Sullivan, they're waiting on the DNA from the lab in Florida that the Pima County Sheriff sent a lot of the DNA to at the beginning, even before like the FBI got involved. Camagus. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. God does not recommend race admixture. Okay. See you later, Gus. If he was saying what I think he was saying, yeah, no racism here. That is absolutely not allowed on this channel. Now, moving on. There's, like I said, there's not a lot of new evidence. Apparently, a lot of the agents have been sent back to their offices, especially the Phoenix office of the FBI, and they're going through the LPRs, the license plate reader data. They're going through a lot of the videos that are taken at the local intersections in Tucson, but there weren't a whole lot around her neighborhood, apparently. And of course, they've already gone through everybody's ring cameras and they've canvassed the neighborhood multiple times. Most of the ring cameras don't reach the street because the houses are set far back. So we don't have a lot of, we're not going to get political today, tacos. But if my choice would definitely be Kamala. But we're not going to get political. So please, let me say what I need to say today so that I don't just have to keep, modding and taking people out. We're talking about Nancy Guthrie, who has been missing now, I can't believe it, but 64 days. 64 excruciating days. And if I feel this upset about it, I can't even imagine how Savannah and her family feel about it. Oh, hi, Arizona Desert Walker. I just played the latest statement. You can probably see it on the playback. I don't know if you were here when I played the statement from Savannah Guthrie. It was regarding today, Easter, and, sounds like she's lost her faith a little bit, and I understand that, although I still have mine, but there are times in your life where bad things happen and you just like, ugh, it's a tough one. Here we go again. Boy, the joys of monetization. There you go. Oh, let me go back because I think I hit the wrong button. Let me go back. There's got to be an easier way to do this on a very tiny screen. What? Do we have anybody that's actually here that's watching the show today that's not like going to come in here and be a moron? Thank you for those that are actually here to watch about Nancy Guthrie. You know, it's day 64. It's Easter. I don't know if this is true. I mean, this isn't about Nancy, but I think that was Amazon scared me to death. I heard something at my door. Uh, hold on, let me see, because there might be a grocery item or two in that. Let me grab it. Well, I didn't put it in the refrigerator yet, but it seems like it's like drinks or something. So I just heard like the ruffle of the bag at the front door, like, oh my God, who's that? Arizona Desert Walker says she should have her contact or her contract lawyers request the records and they cannot seal the case. Well, it's still being investigated. Hi, Jay. I just read the latest statement that was released today from Savannah. We just played it here. It's just a few seconds long, and it's kind of a hard listen. It's she sounds rather down. It's Easter, and sounds like she's kind of questioning her faith right now. And I commented that I understand that because over the years, with everything that's happening or has happened to me, and is still sort of happening as far as my health and the death of a close friend, you know, I've lost my faith at times too. It's really heartbreaking. Hey, Toronto, Canada. Welcome in, Canada. My dad is, or was, he's no longer with us, but he was a naturalized Canadian. Yeah, he moved to Canada in my childhood, or actually in my adulthood. Had he moved there in my childhood, I would be a dual citizen, but only him. So welcome in, Canada. And what I was getting ready to say before Amazon came to the door with my bags is that there's a rumor, and I don't know that this is true at all, but there's rumors now that Savannah's marriage to Michael Feldman could possibly be on the rocks. I hope that's not true. I mean, this poor woman she's been through enough, don't you think? Sorry, I have to keep hydrating. I've got my Gatorade Zero here, my Diet Cranberry, and my Arrowhead water. Yeah, Jay says, oh no. Arizona Desert says you can when it is an active investigation on a high-stake case. So you're saying that her lawyer could get the information on the case. I've never heard of that before, but you may be right. I'm happy to open my mind to that possibility. Yeah, happy Easter. Easter. Can I speak today? Arizona Desert Walker. That is too bad. Jay says, I look at it as loss of friends, family, and health is just life happens to us all. You're right, but you know, sometimes it all comes at once. People don't realize that you can. You are the queen of records. Well, that's interesting. Are you a paralegal by any chance? That would be interesting. So you're saying that Savannah could get a lawyer to get them to open up the evidence. And you know what I'm also hearing? And I think I'm not sure about the marriage rumor, but I'm also hearing, now I'm getting a text. Oh, I forgot to turn off the notifications. And it's saying that my Amazon order has been delivered. Be sure to chill. God, I hope I didn't order anything that needs to be chilled. Let me check it out on my iPad to see what's there. Oh, it looks like it's just some drinks. I think we're fine. Sorry about that, people. It all happens at once. Hey, 25 people in the room. Only 8 thumbs up. Can you smash that thumbs up button? And if you're not subscribed to April Davis PI, please do. Elevator has guide rail. Happy Easter to you. Where are you coming in from? Arizona Desert Walker says, nope, just a victim of one of Arizona's worst tragedies. Even you can ask, or any civilian, but why should we when Savannah should get her contract and all those lawyers to do it? Yeah, as far as I know, Savannah, from what she said, she hadn't even seen the 2 ransom notes that according to law enforcement, they thought that 2 of those ransom demands, that 2 of the notes were real and the other notes were fake or copycats. But she did say, I haven't seen them yet. And I do think that Savannah and her family, that they know more than what they're saying, but yet she says she hasn't even seen the ransoms. And there's a lot of people reporting over the last few days, people that claim to have inside sources saying that not only is they don't have any more evidence other than this DNA, to this mixed DNA to try to separate and look at, but that they don't even have a viable suspect. And remember, at the beginning of this case, Ashley Banfield reported that according to her law enforcement source, who she believes is credible, that, Tomato was the I shouldn't be cruel like that. Tommaso Cione was apparently the first suspect by law enforcement. And after, weeks of being in their house and 5 weeks of having Annie's car, he claims that they have been cleared. Now, in my mind, no one is cleared, but yet now some of these main news sources, I'm not just talking about the boots on the ground and the YouTubers and the people hanging out across the street from her house. I'm talking about like viable, credible, professional news agencies are now reporting that they don't have anybody. They're not like behind the scenes, trailing somebody, surveilling somebody, getting info or intel on somebody. That they're at a loss. And that is, if that's true, that's not good news for this case, because we're 64 days into it. Pal, yeah, there is something new that Savannah posted today. I just had it up. I already played it. Let's see if I can get it again. I have to go through all the commercials on here to try to bring it up. It's called Savannah Guthrie Easter Confession Admits Disappointment with God Amid Mom Search. Yeah, and it's just all the ads, and it took me a lot of time to get this up without the ads before I came on the air. So let me, fast forward through the ads. Well, can't fast forward. They have to play out. It's a shoe ad right now for DSW. And if I can get through the ads and then quickly hit the volume, because it goes right into the statement, like, you don't want to miss the beginning. I played it at the beginning of this video. You guys may have to see it on the replay, but it's absolutely, no, now it's asking me to copy a link. Let me go back. Okay, this is the last time I'm going to play it, so listen carefully, everybody. Oh, my baseball just turned up. Let me turn that volume down, because I don't want you to hear that. Let me move my mic button. Now, everybody, take a listen. Oh, there's no volume because I had to turn it off for my show. So, okay, I'm going to make one more attempt at this. Boy, this show's not going well today, is it? Here we go.
Standing here today, I have to tell you, there are moments in which that promise seems irretrievably far away, when life itself seems far harder than death. These moments of deep disappointment with God, the feeling of utter abandonment. For most of us, there will come a time in our life when these feelings hold sway. In my own season of trial, I have wondered, I have questioned whether Jesus really ever experienced this particular wound that I feel, this grievous and uniquely cruel injury of not knowing of uncertainty and confusion and answers withheld. In those darkest moments, I have thought, bitterly and perhaps irreverently, that I have stumbled upon a feeling that Jesus did not know.
Absolutely gut-wrenching, heartbreaking. And I got to turn the volume back down. Okay, now we're set up. Okay, that takes a lot to do that live. So, and I'm not working with OBS here. I'm on a vertical live on a cell phone because that seems to be the only way that YouTube will bring people in anymore. You're welcome, pal. It is so heartbreaking. Let me see what messages. Oh, Arizona Desert Walker, thank you for hitting the like button. Do what Arizona did, everybody. Hit that like button. Arizona says, I would request the index log of current requesters and what they requested first, then ask for the 911 calls, CAD log, and audios, then the first on-scene body cams. Anyone can ask for the records. Wow, that would be interesting. The on-scene body cam. And also, let me turn off my, or turn on my do not disturb. There we go. There's always something I forget at the beginning of the show. Like, oh, my mics, or, oh, I didn't hit the do not disturb, or there's so much to remember. Oh, I didn't set up the iPad, or I need to get the plug, or, you know, I'm 1 week today from being another year older. So maybe the mind is starting to crumble. I hope not. They cannot redact that. They cannot redact what? What you're requesting as far as the records? Thank you. Another week, Arizona. Oh, the first on scene. Okay. Yeah, I would assume it was just a couple of deputies because it was reported as a missing person. And it was after those deputies got there that they didn't like the looks of the scene and they realized that we may have something more going on here than just a missing elderly, because they thought it was going to be one of those senior alert types of things where a senior just walked out the door and they didn't know where she was. But, you know, there was evidence of some sort of a crime with the blood droplets. So they called the homicide detectives immediately. And that's the only impressive thing that Pima County Sheriff has done, in my opinion, is that they did call the homicide team immediately. And usually they will not do that on a missing, or especially a missing elder, because it's like, well, you know, she just walked out the door. And, you know, I'm still extremely bothered, and I can't emphasize this enough, that everybody here is innocent until proven guilty. But I question the timelines because the sheriff kept retracting the timelines and changing things. And, you know, one day he says one thing, one day he says another. It's like every day of the week there's a different story. And I want to know, what time did the church lady that was at a private home, who has a service in her home, what time did she call Annie Guthrie? What time did Annie and Tommaso arrive at the house? How many minutes passed between their arrival and them calling 911? And the police had already come. They had already called hospitals. They'd searched the house. It was possibly hours later that Annie contacted Savannah. And because Savannah was very close to her mother, she had regular contact with her. It seems very strange to me that Annie didn't call Savannah right away and say, hey, have you heard from Mom today? She's missing. I don't know where she is. Those are just the timeline of all of this creates the red flags. There could be explanations for all of it, but there's red flags. That's all I'm going to say. Arizona Desert says exactly 100%. Yeah. Yeah, but someone like you seeing what they saw will help build origin and the 911 call log and help build paperwork timeline. You know, I wouldn't think that that would even be available, but thank you for letting me know that. That can be obtained by asking for records of the email or text communication between Pima County Sheriff and the Guthrie family to get that established. Wow, that's interesting. That's very interesting. If you could get all that, my email is aprildavispi@gmail.com. Yeah, I don't have the time to like make all these requests. I did, if you saw yesterday's video, I did request the Shallon County, Washington Sheriff's Department report on the Christmas Eve incident involving that other YouTuber. You'll have to see the video. Jane Rice says me. Yeah, let me know if anybody wants to do that for me. I'll be happy to discuss it here live. If anybody wants to send me any paperwork on it, just send me an email and let me know in your email that it's okay for me to talk about it publicly. And, I'll go online and I'll go on live and I'll shout you out. Sometimes GROK will provide incident reports. What is GROK? Hey, Rita, welcome in. You'll have to listen. I have it in the replay. You'll hear the statement that Savannah Guthrie made today, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. It's just awful. I mean, I've already played it, before the show. I played it twice, and then I've played it twice on the show, and it's only a few seconds. You can find it on TMZ, but you can also find it here. Oh, okay, the AI. Okay. Yeah, somebody mentioned that to me yesterday, actually, and I was like, "What? What?" Like, oh, I didn't know that Arizona Desert Walker. No, I was talking to one of my musician clients, and he mentioned putting something into Grok AI, and I was like, "What?" I had not heard of that. I'm like, I know Chat GPT, and I've used that a few times, but I didn't know. Is it Grok or Grok? Magnalia talked about the Tube Guys incidents publicly. Oh, okay. Yeah, apparently there was some sort of a citation issued. We didn't know if it was a detainment or an arrest or a citation, but I heard that it was a citation in an airport. I don't know which airport, though. That JLR investigates. Jonathan Lee Riches had got into it with somebody, with another YouTuber. Interesting. Karen. I have a lot of Karens. She says, hello, do you remember me? Karen Savoy. I have a lot of Karens, Karen. I apologize. Yeah, so, I mean, there's not any huge breaking news except this was pretty big to hear this statement by Savannah. And, like I said, I've said this in the past that Savannah, she's a really, these newscasters, they're attractive, they're nice looking, but she has looked very, very rough. And now there's this rumor that's circulating all over the internet about her marriage, and we don't know if any of that is true. That should be kept in her personal life, but there could be trouble in paradise on that end, and and apparently it was going on for months, if the rumor is true, before this whole Nancy Guthrie disappearance happened on February 1st. So I mean, what else? I don't want to even say it. I never want to tempt fate and say, what else can happen next? You don't want the other shoe to drop, you don't want the hammer to drop. Like, don't tempt fate. I'm very superstitious that way. Never tempt fate. Try not to say, negative statements like that. Instead of saying, oh, I feel so sick today, you say, oh, I should be feeling better today, or I will be feeling better soon. Or sometimes, your worst day is the day before you turn a corner and things turn out, like you have to put the positive vibes out there. But, if her marriage is on the rocks and her mother has been abducted, kidnapped, unalive, whatever you want to, call it, and she doesn't even have, if the worst has happened, God forbid, she doesn't even know her whereabouts or have her remains. And, they can't even have a funeral or a celebration of life, which is much better to have a celebration of life than to have a depressing, funeral. I like the fact that when I was a kid, they never had like celebrations of life. It was funerals, and they were dark, and And now, the world has kind of changed where, well, let's celebrate this person. And I think she wants to be able to do that. But she can't because, what if she's in somebody's basement, being held? I mean, I doubt it because they didn't take her meds and she was bleeding and she's 84 years old and it's just this is terrible. I don't understand why something like this would happen. And if it does turn out that it's somebody close to her who committed this atrocious act, that is just going to, I can't even say the word, it's going to destroy Savannah. If she isn't already destroyed already, if there's marital issues and there's her mother is gone and she's starting her job tomorrow. And I even heard a comment online by the Today Show because they don't really know how they're going to handle, like they don't really have a plan in place because things could change with this case at any moment. So they don't really have a plan laid out for Savannah as far as, how they're going to produce that show. And they said, we're going to kind of play it by ear. So this is just, it's devastating at every angle. Yeah, the cost of funerals are wow expensive. Yeah, I think Savannah would be able to afford that though. Sadly, to even have to bring that up. I'll have to I'll have to check that out, Bobby Pearson. That seems interesting to me. Um, Karen says, "Happy Easter Sunday." Happy Easter Sunday to you, Karen, and thanks for coming in. Yeah, this is. I mean, I don't. I want to continue to talk about this on my channel because I want to keep this case relevant. But I don't. I feel so helpless because I'm not investigating this case. I'm a private investigator and I have investigated many, many death cases. I've done a few either celebrity kidnappings or uh, attempted kidnappings or threat of kidnappings in celebrity families, but I'm not an expert at kidnapping. I know some PIs that are. In fact, we featured one on one of our earlier shows about he had done an interview on the news about what he thought because he was a kidnapping expert. And I kind of agreed with everything he said, but that was like 2 months ago. This is day number 64. I mean, I've even lost track as to what week is it now? I mean, think about that. We're like in the 9th week or are we in the 10th week? Because remember, this happened on a Sunday. So today's a new week. Like, is it 9 weeks or is it 10? I can't even do the math on that while I'm like watching the chat. Like, Tori. Hello, welcome in, Tori. Thanks for coming. I did play earlier on this, if you're just getting here, Tori. I played their most recent statement from Savannah Guthrie twice. She did make a statement today. I didn't see it yet on her Instagram. It might be there, but I didn't see it. I heard about it on TMZ, and I played it here. So when we're done with this today, it may be a shorter day. You can go back and rewind, and I play it at the very beginning of the video. Jason, hello, good evening. To you, best wishes. I don't even watch the Today Show anymore. I feel sorry for the cast of the TV show. They got to be going through a lot of stress. God bless Jane Pauley. Oh, I remember Jane Pauley. Yeah, I haven't seen the Today Show in years because I was either working, 80 hours a week, and then when my cancer hit in 2019, I was just, or when it was diagnosed in 2019, I should rephrase that. I've just been fighting to stay alive. And, that comes on early in the morning, and I'm trying to get my rest. Shirley, welcome in. Will they ever figure this out? I still say Tommaso involved. It's possible because it's one of two things. It's someone out to get Savannah, either revenge or money, or it's somebody that she knows. And now there's always the random crimes, but that's highly unlikely. Okay, thank you, Miss April. I will go back in the stream and take a look. Yeah, it's devastating, Tori, because she, today is Easter and she talks about, Jesus, and, she implies that she's, losing her faith. Shirley says she never made it home. we're not sure about that. We know that she did make it to Annie and Tommaso's for dinner because they've already interviewed the Uber driver who drove her there, and he or she has dash cam and like a in cabin cam. A lot of times the dash cams have cameras on both sides, so there was audio and video recorded of her ride to Annie Tommaso's. I don't know if they can prove the times that he claims he came and went to drop her off, but he was only there for 2 minutes, and she could barely walk. So Saturday it happened. It actually could have. That was the last time that she was seen alive. But remember, it was after midnight that a masked man came to the door, and it was after midnight that her pacemaker unsynced with her devices. So I believe that this did happen. Oh, my friend! You guys, I have a new friend here from Tel Aviv, Israel. This is for you, Sarap. Here we go. Let's get it up to 10. This guy's becoming my biggest fan. The last few days, and welcome everybody here if you're new here. Sarah, oh my God. I just don't make me cry on my live. I almost cried twice playing Savannah's message. It's not been publicly released, Shirley. Oh my God. That's a good interruption. I had to take a few people out at the beginning. Let's go back. Bro, I am Giselle. Well, your name says Mariana Velasquez. It's a setup, bless her heart, Tommaso and Annie. It could be a setup, including the ransom notes. Did it happen again? Oh my God. I can't keep up with you, Sarap. Oh my gosh. Everybody give his super chats a like. Welcome in. He is from Israel. And the last few days I've had Australia, I've had Israel, I've had Italy, I've had the UK. We have Canada in here today. I've had Brazil. At times I've had Syria, India, Iran. I didn't even know that they had access to internet in Iran. So do you think that's true when somebody comes in and says they're from Iran? Are they allowed in Iran to use the internet? Because I know there's some countries they're not allowed to get on to social media. And that's happened a couple times. Also, somebody came in from Syria. Yesterday, was it yesterday or the day before? I had super chats that came from Israel, Italy, and Great Britain. Like, I'm learning. In fact, one of my mods who's not in here today, she sent me an email that has, or actually was it an email or it was a comment on a video, I think, where she sent me a currency chart. And I'm going to have to, as part of my behind the scenes administrative things that I do here, I'm going to have to print out that currency chart because I was like, oh, what's that? And it is an Israeli new shekel. So thank you so much. Let's see. Singam87, hello, welcome in. Oh, okay, Tori. She says, I'm going to go back in the stream and listen to Savannah real quick. I'll be right back with you. Yeah, I don't know if you were here, Sarap, but I played it twice already, and you can hear it on the replay. There was a very sad statement that almost makes me want to cry right now, put out by Savannah Guthrie today in regards to Easter, and it sounds like she's kind of losing the faith, which I totally get. Sorry for being mean. I am Giselle, but this is my mom's account. Oh, okay, Mariana. Or Giselle. So your mom is Mariana? Are you 18 or older, Giselle? Just asking. As long as you're an adult, welcome in. Singham means lion. Hello, Mariana, again. Oh, thank you, Singham. Yeah, he says, he or she. Are you a man or a woman? I can't see the avatar on the cell phone. It's too small. So, let's see. Thank you. T.S. Graco. Is that an Italy flag with the pizza? Are you here from Italy? T.S. Graco. Oh, there's so many new people coming in. Aristocrat. Hello. Where are you coming in from, Aristocrat? I am from Los Angeles, California. I'm a licensed private investigator, and I've been doing a true crime series on the Nancy Guthrie case, the missing 84-year-old woman who is the mother of today co-host Savannah Guthrie. I am from the United States. You're from India. Yeah, I've had a few others that have come in from India. Welcome in. Aristocrat is from Knoxville, Tennessee. Love my voice tone. Thank you. Wow. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the beginning, go back to the beginning when we're done with this. And within just a couple of minutes in, I play the absolutely gut-wrenching statement that Savannah put out today. Beck had to talk to my daughter. Hello, Jay. Well, we've got somebody coming in from India, and our friend from Israel, Sarap, is here. And I know I probably thanked you yesterday, but thank you again, Sarap, for the early birthday gift that you sent. It means the world to me. I've struggled for over 5 years to get this channel going, so uh, and I think I've hit enough now that I will see the first check since the remonetization. I will see that probably at the end of May. Um, and happy Easter and happy Passover. I look very chill. Well, I try to be on here. I was just kind of like sad because before I started this, I live alone. There's no Easter celebration here. I'm just going to make something and spend it with my little bunny and my cat. And I'm so happy that I have my YouTube friends. You guys are like my family. And I was just getting ready to go on the air, and I was like, well, what are we going to talk about today? Because, I'm sure the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff, they're taking a day off, and, everybody's celebrating Easter. So there's not a lot of new information on the Nancy Guthrie case. And then Savannah's statement just came out, and I was like, oh my God. I listened to it, I think at least twice before I went on the air. And then I played it twice again. And every time I play it, I have to try not to cry because it's so sad. And, you got to realize in less than 24 hours, it's already 6 in the evening in New York. I don't even know what time does the Today Show come on in the morning, but, you know, she's going to be having to go to bed soon to get up early to go to her job. And it's going to be probably the highest rated Today Show that's ever aired. Did California recover from the bad fire from last year? Well, TS, it's going to take decades, in my opinion, because most of Pacific Palisades is completely destroyed. Most of Altadena is completely destroyed, and a big portion of Malibu is destroyed. In fact, one of my clients that I've worked with for years lost a house out near Pepperdine. There's a celebrity family that I know that I just met the one time when I did the march. There's an anti violence march that's on my long form content with Soleil Moon Fry, organized by her daughter, and I know they lost their house. I could say, hey, rich people problems, but still, I'm very sympathetic to their loss. There's just so many people that have lost so much. There's a guy that I go to a Christmas party. He comes to a Christmas party I've been at the last couple of years on Christmas Eve, and I know he lost his home in Altadena. So there's at least, well, there's 2 families, and then he. Yeah, Punky Brewster. I have a video on that, Arizona, if you want to see it. Jay, insurance was lost on many of those multimillionaire houses before the fire. Yes, that's true. And those homeowners will get a payment from California, from the state. It'll probably take years, and their insurance is not going to cover everything, or people lost their insurance. And, you know, a lot of people, you still owe the mortgage when something like that happens. You know, if there's a mortgage, the mortgage doesn't just quit because there's a fire. Especially these people that are not insured anymore, or they're underinsured. So yeah, I'm sorry to say that, T.S. Grocco. I wasn't affected because I'm in the valley, in the flats, but you know, at some point we could actually see the flames from the hills of Burbank coming over from Pacific Palisades, coming back over towards the valley, and that's when it really got real. And the closest fire to me was the Hollywood fire. That was really close. That was scary. That was horrifying because that was a couple miles away. Arizona Desert Walker says they still need the officials to look at those Temescal Trail camera archive data. So sad, changed my life forever, the Palisades fires. Yeah, it's just, I've done a lot of work over the years in the Palisades. Tori, this is a very good comment, Tori. I'm just absolutely puzzled. We haven't gotten a break in the case. Yes, yet. Yeah, yes, I agree. Did Savannah say anything today? Yes, and I played it twice, handsome, in my video. So when we're done, just go back and rewatch the beginning. I'd play it twice. Sue Brock, welcome in, honey, my friend. Hi, everyone. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you. I haven't really celebrated yet. I haven't even left my house. I haven't even walked up to. I walked out the door to get some Amazon stuff, and I've got 2 more bags that just were delivered that are sitting on my floor. That's why I'm doing this, Tori. Thanks for saying that. Miss April, thanks for covering this case because you bring awareness to this case and keep it in the news. Thank you. You know, all of my, not all of my shows, but many of my prior lives on this, I would say, call 1-800 or 1-800-CALL-FBI. Please dial 1-800-CALL-FBI. But I did that just with a tip, and I don't know if it's a viable tip, but it's definitely something that needs to be looked into. And they didn't even take it seriously. It was depressing. They just, unless you know where she is or where the remains are, they really don't want to talk to anybody right now. We just had some dinner with my daughters and sons. Husband cooked. Oh, what a great husband. Yeah, I'm going to make something later. I don't eat a lot earlier in the day. I eat, a small breakfast. I'm still working on this yogurt and a little protein breakfast bar. And then as soon as I go off the air, I'm gonna make something. Maestro, they should start building homes with cement walls and a roof so that it can withstand a fire better. Yes, but you have no idea how massive that was, though. I mean, it was just like the end of the world. Arizona Desert Walker. I had odd moments with FBI, but internal affairs followed through quick and got me to the detective. Mike Stroh says, yogurt looks good. I need to go to the store. Yeah, make sure your store is open because a lot of the stores are not open today because of Easter. It depends on where you are, though. These yogurts, they are Oikos vanilla. Lou Becker says I would be a better detective than most. That's actually what I did for a living. And even though I'm not talented at anything else in this world, I am a very good detective and I'm very well known in my industry. But I was only full-time for 35 years, and then I had to take a giant leap backwards due to stage 3 cancer. Lou Becker. That's a good idea, Arizona Desert Walker. She says Lou Becker should get those records then. Mike Stroh. I am in Toronto. Welcome in. Canada. My dad is or was naturalized Canadian. And there's always someone that's open specifically on holidays because they know people will go there. That's true. Some stores are like, I know one of our pizza places around here that's very popular. They're even doing free delivery this weekend, so I guess they're open. Yeah, they're gonna make money, especially if the local grocery stores are closed. You know, in the United States, Easter is a very large holiday, and it's also Passover in the Jewish religion. So it's super quiet today, even in my building. I haven't even heard my neighbors. I haven't seen, except for the Amazon guy that came, I haven't seen anybody walk by the window through the lobby. It's like super quiet today. I would have liked to maybe bought some Easter flowers, but I can't buy like lilies or orchids because they're highly poisonous to animals. But it would have been nice to have some Easter flowers. And I was supposed to be born actually on Good Friday, and I came 4 days early. So I was supposed to be a Good Friday baby. And sometimes there's been maybe 2 or 3 times in my life at least where my birthday has fallen on Easter. This year it follows a week after Easter. And if I don't have anybody that comes over, I will go live on YouTube. It may be later in the day, but I will go live at some point and go, hey, it's my birthday. Because I don't really celebrate those anymore. I mean, I celebrate that I'm still alive from everything that's happened, but I don't make a big deal about Christmases or birthdays anymore. I've lived alone for too many years. And the bunny and the cat, they can't go out and go shopping for me. Hey, me too. When's your birthday? April 12th or 13th? Mine's the 12th. We'll give you a birthday party. Thank you, Subra. Yeah, I have a Thai family that I sponsor, and a lot of times we will get together on my birthday, depending on the day of the week and depending on how many of them are working. And I know that the son has to work all day. That's one of his biggest days. And the daughter just had a baby at the end of December. And so they're not getting out a whole lot, but they're starting to get out now. Birthday twin, yes. Oh, wow. Jay says, me too, 7-year-old picture with Easter basket and my hands holding up a salmon. Oh, wow. It's funny, when I was a little kid, I was not a believer in Santa because I couldn't prove it. But I went down to the local grocery store when we lived in LA when I was just a toddler, and they had this person, an adult-sized person dressed in a pink bunny costume with big ears, and they were handing out golden eggs, and I think they had candy in them or something, and I just lost my mind over that. And as a child, I thought that the Easter Bunny was real because I saw him at Ralph's in LA, But I couldn't prove Santa because I knew those Santas in stores that they were fakes. But I sure got sucked into the Easter Bunny. Yeah, because it was also in that LA house when I was 3, and my grandparents had come out for Christmas, and they would do that every year when I was a toddler. Most of them all died when I was very young, so I do remember those years where they were alive, and my mom's parents would come out, and we didn't have a fireplace. And I was like, how is Santa going to get down the chimney? We don't have a fireplace. And she said, oh, well, he's going to come through the front door. And I was like, oh, we better unlock the door. And then my mom, instead of saying, oh, okay, she was just like, oh, no, no, don't unlock the door. Somebody might come in. And then I was like, oh, this is BS. This is, because I'd listen for the sleigh and for the bells of the reindeer and or the clickety clank of the hooves on the roof or it'd be Christmas morning, I'd run out and look up at the sky like, yeah, there's no reindeer, there's no Santa. But I did believe in the Easter Bunny. And I'm a rabbit person. I have a bunny. I've had at least, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've had 5 bunnies in my life. And she's sleeping now. Everybody's sleeping now, the bunny and the cat. Which is kind of good, because if the cat was going crazy right now, I'd be very distracted here. Wait, no Santa? Who made all those cookies I made? You were such an aware child, an investigator. Yes, I did have my spidey senses even when I was, well, from as long as I can remember. I was just born with them. And I guess it was, I wanted to be a police detective. I never wanted it, like, I never thought about becoming a PI. It just kind of happened by accident. Hello, Cello. Welcome in. Oh, it says I have 4 minutes on my goal. A little clock just popped up. I don't know if you guys can see that. Can you guys see the goal clock? It just popped up beneath the last message. Mike Stroh says, do you know how rare that is? What, to have spidey senses? My mom got so mad when my same age cousin and I shared Santa and Easter lie with each other. She thought I still believed. Oh, you see it. Okay. I am a PI. I'm a licensed PI in the state of California. But I only take the occasional case now because I am disabled from, well, I was disabled from the breast cancer, and then I have a very bad back from 35 years of surveillance, and then I did start having very critical side effects in late 2023, which I'm still fighting. So, yeah. I've had a very long career, Maestro. Hey, Country Roads with Michelle, welcome in. Hey, Deborah Manchester, where are you coming in from? You guys may have to, the ones that have come in late, you may have to go back to the beginning of the show, when we're done here. I won't go too long today because I know it's Easter and some of you guys might actually have Easter dinner. I'm going to just cook something, just like a regular something. It's midnight here, so I'm going to go see you soon. Okay, thanks, Hello. Deborah, Massachusetts. Yeah, it was a suffering thing. And that's why, because of that and everything that I went through and subsequent to that, that's why I kind of understand where Savannah is coming from on this video. Every time I try to bring it up, I've got to see like ads on TMZ. But then I have to take myself out so the volume doesn't interfere. We don't get any reverb here. Let me just let this ad play through. And then I have to hit the, now it's bringing me to a shoe ad. I don't want to go shopping at DSW. These ads are just crazy. Yeah, it won't come up anymore. Now it's going to TMZ Sports. I don't know why. Yeah, you'll have to watch the playback on the video or watch the video on the playback. You'll be able to hear the audio. I can't show it because I don't want to get busted for reuse content. So, we canceled dinner, too many hurdles this year. Yeah, I'm just going to pop something in the oven like a turkey burger or maybe a piece of frozen fish. I'm trying to lose weight. I've lost like 6 pounds because I've just had so much medical BS that's happened. And I don't feel like myself when I'm carrying this much weight. I'm the heaviest I've ever been in my life. And I was used to being skinny most of my life. It wasn't until all this happened that, I did fill out with, after 30 or 40, I started to fill out. But now it's just like, it's dangerous to my health, especially with the heart issues and the blood pressure issues. And I'm on so many medications. And I think that's helped put the weight on me, and I was on the cancer drug for 5 years after the treatment, and so let's not get depressed today. I'm already so sad just hearing. I heard the Savannah statement twice before I came on the air, and I heard it 2 more times here to play it for you guys. God help all of us. Yes, CMA. Yeah, I don't think we have that here, but I was trying to play this. It says Easter Confession. Savannah Guthrie Easter Confession admits disappointment with God amid mom's search. And now where they were playing it, where I was seeing the DSW ad over and over and over, they're playing a video that says TMZ Sports. And then they just showed a flash of Tiger Woods. Yeah, that's another story. We could do a whole episode on that. Deborah Manchester. They will never something this case too much was botched from day one. I hope they can solve it, but I do agree that too much has been botched within the first 20 hours of the investigation. Oh, they will never solve this case. I know it's hard to like type on these. Yeah, now they're just showing like Tiger Woods being pulled over after, well, not pulled over, but he had his accident. Number 3. But because he's famous, he's been able to leave the country and go off to Zurich. His private plane arrived yesterday, apparently, in Zurich, Switzerland. I'm turning up the volume again on the iPad, just in case we get lucky. 3 strikes and you're out. Now there's a medical commercial that's asking me to close it, on top of the DSW commercial that I've probably seen 10 times today. Let's see. There she is. Okay, hold on. We're going to do this one more time. It's very short. Here we go. Savannah.
Standing here today, I have to tell you, there are moments in which that promise seems irretrievably far away, when life itself seems far harder than death. These moments of deep disappointment with God, the feeling of utter abandonment. For most of us, there will come a time in our life when these feelings hold sway. In my own season of trial, I have wondered, I have questioned whether Jesus really ever experienced this particular wound that I feel, this grievous and uniquely cruel injury of not knowing, of uncertainty and confusion, and answers withheld. In those darkest moments, I have thought, bitterly, perhaps irreverently, that I have stumbled upon a feeling that Jesus did not know.
Yeah.
I felt like to be a little kid.
Yeah, that's boy, is that heartbreaking. Just yeah, did you guys hear that? Are we still here? Hi, Storm Chaser. Hope I didn't lose the chat. All of a sudden, the chat just stopped moving. Can somebody, let me do a test. Make sure we're still here. Are you guys still here? There's 22 of you. Somebody type something. Jesus knows all of our sorrows. Oh, thank you, Maestro. And let me remove this. It says goal ended. Start another. I hate to start another, but let me see. Let me reduce it. Let me just make it smaller since we've already done this and I didn't make the, and we'll just do 30 minutes because I'm not going to be on here very long. Shout out, and I'm just typing. I know the screen is moving because I'm on a very bad cell phone tripod here. Let me just type that in, hit return, and hit that. I don't know if this is helping, but it's asking me to start a goal. You saw 6 of 10. Yeah, we got 6, and they all came in from the same person. That was our friend Saraf out of Israel. I don't think he's here anymore, but wow, what a rock star he has been. We met him 2 nights ago. He's come in three shows in a row and has sent multiple super chats. I think he sent 7 or 8 the first night, and 1 yesterday, and 6 more today. Amazing. Sue Brooks says, I'm going to North Carolina next week for vacation. Well, have fun, Sue. I know, like, who would have thought? Now, if I can just get my views up, that's my problem here, is I'm getting plenty of people coming into the lives, the vertical lives specifically, but I need some of the people that are watching, whether they're subscribed or they're not, to go over to the long form content videos. I have a really, a pretty good one that's on the Nancy Guthrie case. It's the last one I did, and it's about the list of suspects. And not in any particular order as far as like, oh, this is a number 1 suspect. No, they're in the order that their names came up in the story or in the investigation. And remember, the first name that came out was Tomato. So, his information is first, and then it goes down the line from there. And I didn't include everybody, but I tried to include as many as I could. Didn't want to make the video like too long because then people won't watch it. Oh, Mike, excuse me, eating the yogurt. Sorry, that was rude. I'm just like, I got to stay hydrated. Mike Stroh said, I recently gained the ability to live stream, but I am waiting for a perfect day to begin. Don't wait. Just go for it, Mike Stroh. Yes, the names are in the video. It says, Handsome Man asked, so the names are in the show. The suspect list, that's in my long form content video. So just go to my homepage and click the video tab. And the last video that's there is the Nancy Guthrie list of suspects video. In fact, let me go to that page. Go to my homepage. It says, the title is Nancy Guthrie Missing Person, Possible Suspects. And then on the top of the video, on the thumbnail, it says Nancy Guthrie Suspects. And remember, people, I can't emphasize this enough. I will shout it from the tallest mountain till I'm blue in the face. Everybody that we discuss, either in these chats or anywhere on my channel, everybody here is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Savannah today saying she's frustrated with God. Yeah, we played that 3 different times. It's in here. And the one thing that really got my heart is when she said sometimes life is harder than, the alternative. Certain words I can't say here now that I'm monetized. That's just because I felt that way, when I was going through the cancer, and my whole life just imploded. And then I met a friend that I called the humor in my life, and we had a very short time together, and she was taken. So yeah, I felt that way many times, where you just like, I don't even want to say what's next, because you don't want that hammer to drop. But everybody's got something, everybody's got something in their life where they probably felt that way at one time or another. But just keep the faith. You know what? I'm not sure. Curry the cat says, what was Savannah's last sentence on the clip? You'll have to go back. You'll have to play my video back again. I've got it 3 times in here, including the beginning. Yeah, Deborah. Savannah today says she's frustrated with God. Bobby Pearson, today, with so many people who use the internet, somebody should recognize the guy at Nancy Guthrie's door. Exactly. And I think somebody does, and they haven't come forward yet. And we don't know why they haven't come forward yet, but someone recognizes that guy. I even have someone in my mind that I think it could be, especially the eyes, but I'm not 100% sure because of the lips. Micro says, I'm thinking of the book of Job in the Bible and how he has everything taken from him by Satan, but remains true to God. Handsome, I found the video, so we'll watch the names. Thank you, Handsome. Make sure you give that video a thumbs up, and if you guys have any free hype points, if you guys could hype that video, because I spent 2 days making it, and it's got like 300 views, and it's made like $2 and change, and it's like, I can't be spending 2 days to make a video so that I can make $2 off of it. And, for some reason, even though I've been getting an enormous amount of super chats on these lives, which is not necessary at all, but it's very helpful because it's going to put me over the threshold to get that first check, I'm not getting the super thanks at all on the older videos. And I put 5 years of effort into all these videos, and people are they're not watching them in the same numbers that you guys have come in for the true crime. And maybe that's because here I'm talking about something I actually know, being a licensed detective. So, you guys, if you're I think it's only on a mobile device that you can hype a video like that. So if you have any free hype points, people, they're free. You don't pay for them. And you want to use them, go hype that long form content video that says, Nancy Guthrie suspects in the thumbnail. And it's got the masked man, and it's got the sketch of the lady in Houston who is a famous criminal sketch artist. It's got that sketch too, where she looks at the mask and she looks at the eyes and the lips and she tries to draw like a person. Hey, Trisha. Oh, thanks for linking it, Trisha. Welcome in. Oh, thank you, Mike Stroh. Definitely has a mustache and the eyebrows are feminine looking in my opinion. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's a very good clue, Jamie James. And no, I don't think it's a woman. I think it is a man. And I can kind of explain why that is, but I don't want to say too much here. Did they do a scan to remove the mask? What was that? Did you guys hear that? Oh, even my rabbit is freaked out. Hold on, let me check my front door. It seems like somebody just hit my front door with a baseball bat. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to have to check that package because it was a package of diet root beer, and it was literally thrown against my front door. I hope it's not leaking. Yeah, that scared me, and it scared the bunny because I thought someone was trying to break my door down. Wow. See, this case has me jumpy, especially at night, because I'm like, did I lock the door? Did I close the blinds? Can I hear somebody if they try to get in? And I'm a detective, I don't normally feel anxious like that. What's the name of the video? It says Nancy Guthrie missing person, possible suspects. It was linked here, I think, by Trisha. And it's in the video tab. And wow, 52 people. Awesome, everybody. Everybody give me a thumbs up. That'll help. And thank you for the red hearts. Yeah, you heard it. It was my A&W diet root beer. Is it a 10-pack or a 12? It's the can. I can't find the diet root beer in the bottles right now, so I thought, well, I'll get the crummy cans, but gosh, if they're damaged, I'll have to call Amazon. I don't hear anything going like, like the carbonation is leaking through one of the cans, but that person must have just walked by and just threw it at the door. I don't know, maybe the delivery person's having a bad day. Maybe they're missing Easter with their family. Yeah, it was just like, and then the bunny, she's asleep, and she came out of her hide, and she was like, and she looked at me like, should I run? Do I hide? She's so smart. Um, yeah, it was just like, bam. Maybe they dropped it, but it didn't just hit the ground. It actually hit my door. Oh, you have to do it, Maestro, on a mobile device. It won't work on like a desktop or a laptop or even a tablet. I don't think. I know that it only works like on a mobile device. I know, Sue. I thought so. Actually, it was Amazon. Hey, FedEx. Amazon just threw root beer at my door. Hi, Spurs. Thank you for making me laugh, Jay. Oh, Jamie James says you were able to hype the video. You know, I went in last night to try to like test things, and there was a message from YouTube that says you cannot hype your own video, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I'll use my hype points for somebody else's video, and I'll make sure to watch on a mobile device. You thumbed up, making 29. Thank you, handsome man. I know. That's why. See, that's what made me jump, because I was looking at the thumbnail. I just looked at the thumbnail and I saw the guy in the mask, and I saw the guy that the very famous Houston sketch artist. I can't think of her name, but she solved a lot of major crimes by being able to take very little pieces of things and make like a face, and and I'm just saying that face, it's not perfect, but it's something. I can't say it here because I watched. Well, I've been watching Nancy Grace, occasionally Megyn Kelly, Ashley Banfield, and I think it was Megan. And she was saying, well, he's not black. He could be white. And she was just like, I'm pretty sure it was her. It was one of those major media people. Well, he could be Hispanic. I don't know if she said Hispanic or Latino. And they were like, she was like doing her podcast or whatever, like, well, yeah, he could be white, no, he's not black, and he could be Spanish, and I said, or it could be, and I actually yelled something out at the screen. And I don't know why my mind went to something else. And then the long list of characters started to come out. And then I recently heard within the last week that the FBI is taking a different direction in the case. And they're starting to look into a different group. That's all I'm going to say. And I was just like, is it because I made my 1-800 call FBI? 1-800 call FBI tip? And now somebody took it seriously? But if somebody had taken it seriously, I think a special agent would have called me back. That's so true. Deborah, you know what I find weird? She didn't have a subscription, but guaranteed she had an app for her Ring camera. So where all the notifications on her phone? Did someone erase them? It depends on how you have your notifications set. Because my Ring camera is right near the lobby, and there's people coming all the time. So every time the motion goes off, I'm like, oh, no. But it does record it. But that's because I have a subscription. And she didn't have Ring. She had Nest. But I'm sure it works the same way. And she should have had a subscription. And I can't answer why she didn't. Maybe she didn't understand that you need a subscription to be able to record everything and to save the videos. It sounds like it slipped out of his hands. It possibly. Well, as long as it's not damaged, it's not a big deal. Amazon delivery is not the best. Yeah, I've had some of that diet ginger beer delivered, but they just raised the price, so I can't afford it right now. It was cheaper, on Amazon than at the grocery store. In the grocery store, they're always sold out at my grocery store. Even when I do pickup or delivery, it's always sold out. So I'm like, well, heck, I'll just keep getting it on Amazon, but it's gone way up. And a lot of times when they deliver it, it's broken and there's broken glass and there's diet ginger beer everywhere and it's disgusting. Um, or they'll pick the one that's not the diet, it's the other. Like it, it's 50-50 that I can get it delivered here properly. You can hype if it is not currently live. Yes, you can hype. That's true. Jay says you can hype a video, but not if it's currently live. And apparently you must be on a mobile device to do so. So after we get off the air here, if you guys could go to the Nancy Guthrie missing person possible suspect video, which is the most recent video, it's at the very top of my video tab. It says it's 24 minutes long. Okay, wow, I didn't realize it was that long, but just to hype it, to give it thumbs up, and to watch it. It's a good video if you haven't been watching my true crime series that goes from day one. Now, if you want to hear every single detail about every single thing that's happened since day one, then you have to come back here and you have to come to the live tab and you have to see all the prior videos. You can only hype like 3 times per week. That's what I'm hearing. I tried to test it last night, but it says you cannot hype your own video. So I'll have to use my hype points for, one of my fellow YouTubers. Because, people that support me, I like to support them back. Jamie James says 3 vids a week you can hype. Did they ever use real psychics for this case? Or these cases? You mean Nancy's case? I don't know if they have used a psychic, but sometimes police departments will use psychics. Unchained Melody says, I think I know who did it too. Very scary. Yeah, and the person that I put a tip in on, I don't think that person is a mastermind behind it. I just think that person is one of the players. And Unchained Melody, the Righteous Brothers did it. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you, Jamie. Yeah, look at that. It's bigger than it looks on screen. It was $20 at Goodwill. Hello, 521. This is our new friend from Egypt. Yes, I do remember you. I can never forget because on my end, your texts are showing up before your username. It's in reverse, and I've never seen that before on here. And when I first saw you yesterday, I was kind of like, whoa, 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 who is this and what's going on? Like, how is this person sending me messages unidentified? And then I saw the username that is in both, the numerals and then the Egyptian. And I was just like, oh my God, what's going on? You should get one of those. One of what? The elephant photo? They reach me, so they may steal for you, says Arizona Desert Walker. You mean the FBI? Trisha says it may have simply been outdated and not reported anymore. What? Oh, you mean the camera, the Nest camera. Okay. That's a good point, Trisha. Like, I had to replace this iPad and I'm having to make payments because before cancer, I would have just, easily had the $300 to pay for all of this and the case and the screen protector. And, by that time you're close to $350, and like I had to because all my apps were no longer supported. So I couldn't if I can't use it for YouTube and I can't use it for eBay and I can't use it for whatnot, like what good is it serving me? So that's a very good point, Trisha. Well, she's so smart. She's the one that's taught me how to do half of this that I do here at least. Trisha says, my phone is so old that it doesn't get updates anymore and won't even support the McDonald's app. The McDonald's app, for Pete's sake. I used to have that in my phone. I try not to eat that anymore, but, when you're barely hanging on by a thread, sometimes it could pay to go into the McDonald's app and get the coupons or excuse me, I have to take a bite. I apologize. I haven't eaten today. So you shouldn't eat with your mouth full. I do have to cook an Easter for myself. Let's see. Boy, I've missed a lot. Tommaso got an email that night she went missing, asking where's his Bitcoin. Actually, after she went missing, the Derek Kalela, also known as Derek Kayea, who is connected, very closely connected to someone Tommaso knows, he and Annie got the text messages on their private cell phone numbers like, hey, where's that Bitcoin? Or how about that Bitcoin? Almost as if they already knew each other. And they were like partners in business conducting a transaction. That's a big red flag to me, that Derek Kayea. And also, he was given bail very, very quickly on his federal case. And that's a very serious crime if he's guilty of it. And they seem to think that he is. You'll have to see some of my older videos on that and the 6 degrees of separation between all these suspects and how you can kind of link them all together. But like I said, Tucson is 20 minutes from Tucson. It's not like LA, where LA is an hour from LA. Surely more than one person was involved. Absolutely, in my mind. Absolutely. Free Fire Gamer, happy Easter, everyone. Thank you. Same to you. That's from another country. This is Egypt down here, 521. Arizona Desert Walker. The FBI so far was odd and waste of time. Pima County Internal Affairs is the one to reach, and they assign a detective for your information. Well, apparently they're no longer accepting information on this case. At least that's what, I've heard on the internet. Oh, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there's a little bicycle ding ding. And that means that somebody sent me, or somebody subscribed, but it used to count one at a time when it was 1,000 or less. But once it hit 1,000, it only ding dings for every 10 that are added. The detective follows through and welcoming to interact. Tricia says, just finished dinner, lamb stew and sourdough bread. Oh, that looks so good, or sounds so good. It's close to food coma time. That's what I heard, that they've closed their tip line. They had a tip line like the FBI, and they closed it. That's what I've heard. I don't know if it's true. I cannot confirm it. Yeah. Is this still going? Oh, okay. I was seeing if my goal was still going. Hypo in Greek means under. Yes. Thank you, Unchained Melody. Appreciate that. Make sure you hit that bell if you're subscribed so you'll get notifications when I go live or when I do a premiere video. I premiered this Nancy Guthrie missing person, possible suspects, and hardly anybody came in. And then I thought, well, it's okay. People can watch it later on the replay, and it's got like 322 views, and it's made like $2 and change. Like, I spent 2 days on it, and I feel like I gave up on the editing. Towards the end, I was just like, oh, my back is killing me. I just got to get this thing done and get it out. But very disappointing that I'm very happy that everybody that's met me or subscribed to me through this Nancy Guthrie True Crime series. But I just hope that all these new subs and new friends that I'm making, that they're also watching my long form content videos. Next time I am on PC, I can get the email address if you want. I wonder why YouTube YouTube picked the word hype. You know, the only people that are coming through the building today is Amazon. That's it. Everybody's having their Easter. I'll have my own Easter here. I'll just have like I can make some frozen fish fillets. Boy, that guy slammed the lobby door. Who is this? This Amazon guy throwing things at doors and slamming doors. Or I might make a turkey burger. And I do have some groceries that just came. I think it's just drinks. Hopefully there's nothing in there that's melting. Yes, the FBI asked people to stop calling in thoughts and suspicions. The tip line is set up for actual known facts. They did that last week or the week before. Yeah, when I called in, which was, it wasn't last week, I think it was the week before, the rep was very rude, and you have to talk to AI first, like the computer, and they can't get the address right and the numbers right and the city right. And it's just like, good God, just pick up the effing phone. I almost hung up, and then for that 11-minute call, they're literally talking to you for about 30 seconds. And if you don't know where the body is, goodbye. Because it's a hip-hop hype type of world today, Mike. Okay. That's a good answer, Trisha. You're very good at YouTube, Trisha. You're better at this than I am. Yep, same thing for me on the FBI moment. Yeah, but we're only seeing, I'll say it again, this is a 500-piece puzzle, and we, the public, we're only seeing 5 to 10% of it. So imagine putting together the 500-piece puzzle, and you've got 25 to 50 pieces. Well, most of those pieces aren't going to fit if you're missing the rest of the pieces. So we're only discussing this from what we have heard on the news. Some of it is mainstream news. Some of it is YouTubers. Some of these YouTubers are very good. Some of them are horrible. A lot of them are just throwing out clickbait, and they're throwing out false stories to get you to watch because, they're YouTubers, and, they've got to cause drama, and they've got to get their videos hyped, and they've got to get, their income. I mean, look at JLR. And, we're not accusing him of anything that he's currently being accused of, but based on his prior criminal history and his prior civil history, this guy's got, what has he got? Like, how many thousands of followers does he have? And he's doing a great job actually being out there, but he'll say anything just to get you to tune in, whether it's true or it isn't true. And somebody was on his chat I saw once, but it goes by so fast it's hard to read. And they're like, wow, this guy's getting $100 in super chats every 10 minutes. And then, I thought, boy, people should just do their homework and just type that name into Google. Type his channel name, type his real name, and you'd be amazed at how much you can learn on Google. Do the same thing with Nancy Guthrie. Or say Nancy Guthrie house, Nancy Guthrie address. And it all just comes just pouring out. Like, do your homework, people. But maybe Lou will get those public records puzzle pieces. Hey, if anybody wants to get any public records and they want to email them to me, aprildavispi@gmail.com, with your permission, I'll go over them live. Speaking of the man who put up the $100K to find Nancy, just told Fox that people should stop calling in tips to the sheriff office and just call Crime Stoppers. Well, I've heard from many sources on the internet that, and this was several weeks ago, the Pima County Sheriff, they had closed their tip line. And apparently the FBI, if you don't know where the body is, you're not getting your message across. She is gone, I think, Unchained Melody. But they still need to solve this case, and they still need to find where she is. And I hope that it is more than one person, because then that first person that gets picked up, they can roll over on the rest. And then they'll have a little bit to bargain with, like, well, where did you put her? Where is she? Because someone's going to know. But what, and that's a possibility too, because without a body, there's always that slim chance that she's still out there. Now, if she was a child that was missing, then I would say, yeah, there's a big chance that she's out there, but she's 84 and they didn't take her meds. And she couldn't even barely move. Nancy is Nancy Guthrie 521. that is what we have been talking about. You can go through my live video tab and you can see, 50 or 60 episodes on this. She could be alive. And that's why it's so hard for Savannah to be back in New York, not knowing for sure. That's a good question, Jay. Why do you think that, Arizona? Hey, do I still have a mod in here? Is Trisha still here? I wasn't planning on going this long, and I'm literally drinking 3 different drinks. So Trisha, if you're still here, can you do your little song and dance and let me make a 1-minute exit? Put the mic back on. Let me know if the mic is working. Anyway, the church room was upset that anyone was saying Nancy was immobile, that she is being portrayed as being less capable than she is. I hadn't heard that. I know Savannah said that it was very hard for her to walk from the front door to the mailbox, and some days she couldn't do that at all. Thank you, Boston Bill. Happy Easter to you, sir. Yep, I had to put the mic down. Because sometimes I would, when I first started this, I would forget and it would still be on my hat and I'd go into pee and I'm sure everybody here heard it. Yeah, depending on if that is true, Jay, and she is unalived, it depends on where she is. But yeah. Yeah, I agree with that statement. It says goal ended. Why is it asking me to type this out every single time? There we go. Yeah, this is tough. Hearing that today on Easter, it just, I don't, I was born a Christian. I was raised in the Episcopal Church, and when I was a child, I celebrated Easter with my family. My mom usually cooked a ham and mashed potatoes. Boy, that sounds good. Although I don't eat pork anymore, but I'll have a turkey burger or a fish fillet. Maybe I'll make some potatoes. They may actually be sitting in one of those Amazon bags that came. I hope the potatoes aren't in the same bag with the root beer, and those were thrown against the front door. If you guys were here earlier, yeah, it sounded like somebody was breaking in. It was Amazon just throwing my groceries at the door. Oh, I'll have to deal with that when I'm done going live here. Make sure everything's not all smashed. It's funny, when I watch the replay later tonight, which I usually do, I'll have to see if I can hear it, if I can hear my groceries being thrown against my door. But hey, maybe the guy just dropped it. Deliveries are terrible. Usually they're pretty good. But maybe somebody's upset that it's Easter today and maybe they're missing dinner with their family. Most of my family, they're gone. They're dead. So it's just me, myself, and I, and the cat and the bunny, and then my friends. And my best friend and her family, they're Thai, and they're Buddhists. They wouldn't be celebrating Easter. Maestro says, "Oh, I'm going to get going and see what I'm doing for dinner. Have a wonderful evening. Happy Easter." You too, Maestro. Thank you for coming in. Jesus went to the garden to pray. He was so stressed he bled tears of blood. And during And during that time, his apostles fell asleep not once but 3 times. So, yes, I feel Jesus has felt a deep sense of alone. Yeah. You know, I've always kind of had a connection to Easter because I was supposed to be born on Good Friday and I was born 4 days early. And I was born in New England where it's typically very cold that time of year, but they had had an unusual heat wave that year and they had an outdoor Easter hunt at my mother's church, which I believe they attended a Methodist church in Connecticut, and there was an Easter egg hunt. And I was in one of those little, those little carry things that they had back in the day that are made of plastic, and they have a little padding and blankets in them. And she carried me to an Easter egg hunt when I was 6 days old. No, I saw the Ralph's Bunny Arizona Desert. It was Ralph's is a large supermarket here in Los Angeles. In fact, Kroger owns them now. They own like the Smiths in Las Vegas, and they own the Ralph's in California. But I did see the pink Easter Bunny at Ralph's, and when I was 3, and I was like, I believed that for years that was the true blue Easter Bunny. Happy Easter, time for dinner. I'll check out your videos. God bless. Thank you, Unchained Melody. Thank you for coming. So yeah, I'm gonna cook something. I haven't eaten much today and kind of getting a little. I've lost like 6 pounds just in the last couple of weeks, which I've got a long ways to go. At least another 30. But I have to be careful too because of all the blood pressure meds and the heart medication. But I'm just trying to cut out like the garbage and the snacks and the chips and trying to make more stuff at home rather than having deliveries that I can't afford of, garbage food. And I think my taco restaurant would probably be closed today because it is Easter. I'm sure they're, the true Mexican restaurants that are here, those people are extremely heavy Catholics, and I don't think their stores are open today, their restaurants. A lot of the grocery stores are not even open, I think. So I will make something here. Now, Prime Pizza out of Burbank, they're in the city next door to me. I'm in LA and they're in Burbank. They have the best menu, but they're very expensive. But they are having a free delivery day today. But they might be too busy to even handle orders right now, so I'll make something. What is everybody else having for Easter today? When I grew up, when I was a kid, my mom would make a ham and mashed potatoes. That was so good. Like she would bake a ham in the oven, and there would be some pineapples around it, and there would be homemade mashed potatoes. Nothing like your mom's homemade mashed potatoes. Oh, you used to raise a rabbit. Yeah, I've had 5 rabbits, 521. Oh, we're just getting ready to leave, Leanne, but you need to watch this video, especially go back to the beginning, and you'll see the latest statement that was released today from Savannah Guthrie. And I'll warn you ahead of time, even though it's very short, it's a hard video to listen to. Easter or Arizona says beet and kale juice in my Easter dinner. Wow. Trisha, corned beef and cabbage on New Year's Day. Jay says mashed and gravy. Yum yum. Thank you, Leanne. And you're welcome to join us here while I'm still alive. Chicken. Yeah, I eat a lot of chicken because I don't eat any red meat anymore since cancer. Your husband grew up with lasagna for Christmas, but there were 11 kids and 2 adults. Oh, wow. So they probably had to make one of those big lasagnas. I love Italian food. Well, I went to Italy as a child, so I could eat Italian food. I could eat Italian food or Mexican food any day of the week. And all that pasta is very, very fattening. So I've been trying to stay away from it. But when I order from that Prime Pizza, their pizzas are like $40, so I don't even order pizza. I'll just order like an order of chicken wings. I think there's like 6, and I'll eat like 3 at a time. He's a pasta fiend. Oh, I love pasta. And he married you. He couldn't find, or I couldn't find a food I like less than pasta. I went to get pho on Friday night at a 24-hour Vietnamese restaurant, and oh my God, inflation is crazy there. Those are $21 to $26. That's crazy. Used to be half that price like 10 years ago. That is crazy. Yeah, you can't even afford can't get even a Domino's pizza. Like, that's unaffordable now. Pizzas are unaffordable. Occasionally I'll buy a frozen one from the grocery store, and that's it. And a lot of times when I try to do the online order, they'll be out of it. And then they'll try to substitute with something that has beef in it. And I can't have that anymore. Because people can't afford to buy the fresh pizza. And I know pizza's not the healthiest thing, but those frozen pizzas are not good for you. I should learn to make my own and make a lot and freeze it. That's a good idea. Oh, this is interesting. Arizona Desert Walker. This past week, Brian Anton told us he did not trespass, but he did according to the records. Well, I know he was out there with that retired law enforcement officer, and he said, I don't want to trespass. And that guy, when they were out there and, he was underplaying the dangers of the rattlesnakes, not Brian, but the other guy, he said, oh, we're on the utility easement. We're not trespassing. So are you referring to that, or are you referring to something else on a different day? Because he kept saying, I don't want to trespass. I don't want to trespass. Did he get in trouble? Did he do something he shouldn't have done? That's interesting. Pho is pronounced pho. Oh, okay. It is a traditional Vietnamese noodle soup consisting of savory, aromatic broth, rice, noodles, herbs, and meat, typically beef or chicken. Oh, wow. I would like the chicken one. Often served with bean sprouts, lime, basil, and chili sauces. Oh, he was on Nancy's Boundaries, not the easement? You mean when he was out with that guy and he was showing him the terrain, or in a different segment or a different day? Yeah, I'd like to try that. And it's pronounced pho. P5 I don't know. I know that the most common last name in Vietnam is pronounced Nguyen, even though it starts with an N. But I do not know my Vietnamese pronunciations. I remember my parents eating Chinese food occasionally, but never like Vietnamese or Thai. Oh, Jet Set JP, welcome in. I like the veggie and tofu. We have many wonderful Vietnamese restaurants here in Seattle. Trisha, just for the record, I am not as smart as my copy and paste Google searches would make me appear. Mike Stroh says, so tasty and it hits the spot, but the base on the broth is beef. Yikes. Yeah, I can't do that. Not since cancer, I've not eaten beef. Yeah, just chicken and the occasional turkey. I recently ordered some turkey patty, so I could feel like I was eating a hamburger or a cheeseburger, but it was just turkey. But I like turkeys, so I kind of feel guilty every time I eat one because turkeys are super intelligent animals and they're very social. Here in Seattle, when you get the veggie, the broth is also veggie. I'll have to try that someday. But it's pronounced, you said, pho, says Trisha. Not pho. It's spelled Pho, but it's pho or pho. I used to work in Vietnamese and Thai restaurants, and I'm a white guy. Super rare to get hired. You know, but the Thai family that I sponsored, their adult son, he has worked in a Thai restaurant that he doesn't even own, but it's very popular. It's somewhere in Hollywood, and it's one of the most popular Thai restaurants in LA. And he makes a crap ton of money. A crap ton working in a restaurant. Because, you know, restaurants here, it's like New York City. There's thousands, and most of them don't make it. But the ones that do, that are like the top of the tops, and he's lucky enough that he got into one of those, and uh, he works his butt off. But there's just a ton of money coming into that place. Jet Set says, April, there's many Vietnamese dishes that you would love, unlike Chinese food, for example, that has a lot of fried foods. Yeah, I don't fried foods are not good for my stomach. Vietnamese food is very fresh and good. I know, I'm so hungry. All I had today was this breakfast protein bar and this yogurt that I haven't even finished yet because I've been talking to you guys. Walker, we rescued a rooster and that poor thing crowed all the time, so we called him Loco Louie. Yeah, years ago, I worked at the Peter Lorre estate. That's a very famous horror actor. This PI firm that I worked for moved our facilities over to the Peter Lorre estate. Talk about a spook house. And their accountant gifted the owner of the company a rooster for his birthday and put it outside of his window to wake him up. And sadly, the thing only lasted about a week because here in LA, we have a large coyote population. There was also mountain lions on the top of that canyon, but he didn't last long. It was very sad. Caused a lot of tears at work. Everybody was so mad. Everybody was so upset. Are they going to recall Chris Nanos? You know what? I think they should. Because when you're the boss, everything falls on you, even if his deputies made mistakes. Mike Stroh, I learned how to cook many Asian dishes just by watching. Yes, you might like fresh rolls like shrimp or something. Don't eat shrimp. That's a very meaningful gift. Actually, roosters are very auspicious. Okay, didn't know that. Nanos will not be recalled. And you live in Arizona, Arizona Desert Walker. It's kind of like, you know, when I had my booming PI business, and it was so booming that I had to have sometimes up to 6 or 7 people working for me. And none of them were employees. They were all independent contractors, fully licensed, fully insured, set their own schedules, use their own equipment. But, you know, every now and then there'd be a newbie that would come in and they would mess up bad. And I'd have to go out and either redo the case myself or have one of my other guys do it and just eat the cost. Because remember, the name of the company is April Davis Investigations. And I can't say, well, you know, that's not my fault. It's somebody else did it underneath me. No, it's my company. I'm the boss. So all the rewards and all the crap falls on my head. So yeah, Nanos, you're in charge, and this case has not been handled properly. You deeply researched his records. Oh, you just saw the suspect video? Yeah, and remember, those are only all the characters that have come out in this long I used to say it was a movie, but now it's more like a soap opera because a soap opera just, movies just like from A to Z and it's over. But a soap opera just goes on and on and on and on. That's what this is. This is like a soap opera. Yeah, so it's very, very sad. That statement from Savannah today, it's just, people said I sounded chill. Somebody commented earlier in this video, you sound very chill today. And maybe I just haven't eaten enough yet, or I'm just so blown away when I heard that statement, that the pain in her voice, her questioning her faith, which I get that because I've been there before. But I also think it was my faith and the prayers of others that helped pull me through all this. But I'm still going through it. Soaps are dragged out, I know. And that's what's happened with this case. And, you get past that first 24 to 48 hours and it becomes less solvable. And, I do think there's somebody out there who knows who Masked Man is. Why haven't they come forward? Who doesn't need $1.2 million? I haven't been reading the jokes. 521. This is tough. And I feel like I know this family now. I feel like I know Nancy, and I've never even met her. And I hadn't watched the Today Show in years. And she'd been on the Today Show quite a few times as a guest of Savannah. I've never seen any. I didn't even know who Nancy Guthrie was before this happened. And now she feels like part of our family here on YouTube, part of my, my channel, April Davis PI. She feels like she's part of our family. And we're all just like brokenhearted, And I thought I'm gonna go live as much as I can. As long as I'm physically able to do so, I'm gonna keep going live. And, some days there's a lot to talk about and some days there's not. We do talk about other people, but this is a mess. Has anybody, we can't say the word here, but has anybody ever heard the term cluster F? That's what this is. Oh, JLR is live now. I'm not surprised. Remember, that's how that guy makes a living. Oh, I just heard my ding ding again. So, well, I must have gained another 10 since the last dinger went off. Thank you. This is so unfair. It's, can you imagine? I just hope to be alive at 84, which I doubt that I will be, but let's not, let's not put negativity into my mind. Let's hope that we all live long lives. As long as I'm healthy, I could go for 100. But imagine an 84-year-old woman that's disabled, and I'm young enough to be her daughter, and I'm so messed up from all my health stuff. If somebody broke my door down, that's why I jumped. We were talking about the guy in the mask, and I was looking at the scary sketch, and then all of a sudden that Amazon guy threw that darn soda at my door. It made me go, whoa! And even the bunny was like, oh, whoa! She was asleep, and she came out of her hide like, do I run? Do I hide? Like, oh, The cat, she must be unconscious somewhere because she didn't come out for that. I was on one of Arizona's biggest cluster, blah, blah, so I know all too well. Oh, you were one of Arizona's biggest cluster. I am 50-50 that it was incompetence versus done by design. That's a good point. See the suspect video, and then you'll understand why I just said to you, you may have already seen it, why it's a good point. That it was incompetence versus done by design. I mentioned that in the video. Like, is somebody intentionally trying to mess up this case? Has the results of the genealogical DNA been established or reported? No. And I don't think they're going to get anything out of that because they can't hit like 23andMe or Ancestry.com. They can just hit a couple of the smaller sites that do those types of testing. And oh, thank you, handsome man. I really am not a comedian, but thank you. Yep, you lived to and many died. Ooh, I have an idea, Arizona, but I'm not going to say it here. Trisha, you just can't mess every single thing up. There has to be something that goes right, even if it's a fluke. You have to work really hard for everything to go wrong. Yeah. Yeah, it's just because we don't have all the pieces. I keep telling myself that's why we don't see the whole picture yet. But there's so much. I mean, I know there's misinformation in the news and on the internet, but apparently some of the mainstream news people are saying that their sources are telling them that they don't even have at this moment a viable suspect. And if they're relying on those smaller DNA, genetic firms, they may not get a hit, especially, without saying names, if it involves one of the people that's part of a group that may not have their DNA in that type of database. I'm not naming anybody a suspect. I'm thinking like that famous woman who said that says the camera, the blood, and the doors propped open was all staged. Remember, the sheriff said at the beginning that there was forced entry, and now he's like, oh, I never said that. Was there or wasn't there? Hi, Mike. We're 2 hours into this. You'll have to go back to the beginning to see the most important part of this video. And those pots, I've seen them from like drone shots. They look like they're heavy. They're those big clay. Those are heavy. I couldn't move one of those. Why were the doors propped open? Especially if she was removed through the front door. Why were the doors propped open? And I also heard that when Annie Tommaso came over, that a lot of the lights had been turned on and left on. And they found that odd because she didn't sleep with all those lights on. I mean, obviously you'd have to turn on some lights to be able to see what you're doing as you're stumbling through the house to go, drag a woman out of her bed. And why were the kidnappers or alleged kidnappers in the house for a minimum of 41 minutes? That makes absolutely no sense. A kidnapping does not go down like that. And I'm going to keep going as long as I can on this. And we do talk about other cases here. And I will continue to eventually get back to my long form content videos. But geez, if anybody can hype this, the most recent one, please do so, because it's not getting any traffic. And I'm getting like, this is keeping this live or these lives. That's what's going to get me my first YouTube check because of the very generous, the super chats and the gifts. And yesterday, and I won't mention her name because she doesn't want her name to be shouted out, but someone has been sending me a few small Venmos, and that's part of the channel income. The guy Sarap, who said publicly here that he sent a PayPal. Thank you so much. That's all going to be added to the tally. But people that are watching the long form content or they're watching the lives on the replay, nobody seems to know that there's also the ability to send what's called a super thanks. It's like a super chat, but it's not during a live or during a premiere. It's like after it plays. So, just make sure that everybody knows that you don't have to send. I'm not asking you to send. I would never beg for money here. But in order to be successful on YouTube, I have to get the subscriber count, if I can even speak with, I'm getting a little hungry now. I need to get the subscriber count up, and I need to get the videos that are under the video tab, I need views. Even if you guys are just viewing the old Nancy Guthrie lives or any other lives that I've ever done, just keep watching. That's the best you can do to help this channel. Yeah, that 41-minute timeline, and that's only an estimate. The guy in the back may have already been there. The guy in the front, they're just counting the time from Masked Man coming to the front and the time that the pacemaker stopped syncing. But there could have already been someone in the house before Masked Man arrived. There was already somebody that was maybe in the back. And did that person break in, or were they let in? Obviously not by her. She wasn't home earlier in the evening. And we can verify that she wasn't home earlier that evening. And then she went to bed. Savannah believes that she was drugged from her bed. And I believe if anybody knows more than we do about this, it's obviously would be the Guthrie family. It's been alleged that they were possibly removing data from computers, perhaps. Well, that points to someone that she knows. I thought perhaps she may have a safe, and they were trying to get the combination from her to get it open. If the computer was connected to the internet, was Google or backup drive deleted too? PR the ones that got the records. Mine immediately backs up to Google Drive. They knew her pattern on Saturdays heading to Annie's, and they would have been in her house waiting for her arriving. Yeah, but there was evidence that she went to bed that night. But yeah, they could have been in the house. Remember, the house was being surveilled possibly for weeks before this crime. Weeks. Well, we got 57 seconds left on the goal. And it looks like we're just not going to make the goals today, but that's okay. I appreciate everybody that's come in. And I'm going to sign off fairly quickly here. I'm just going to let this goal expire. You guys, you can always watch this on the replay and see. You'll hear it 3 times in the video, the audio from Savannah's statement today. The way this all sounds like a group of gangster or gang stalkers, but one pretending to be her buddies possibly, or neighbors. Happy Easter, Lisa. Anyone who requests the body cams for the first on scene will tell us all. You're welcome, handsome man. Oh, you never get the notifications? You know what you could do, Lisa? Is you could just unsubscribe and then resubscribe and then hit the bell notification, click all, and make sure if you're watching on a mobile device that under your apps that your notifications are turned on in your phone settings for YouTube. Me too, Lisa. We talk about it here. That's why I came on the air today. I didn't think I would. I didn't think anybody would come in because it's Easter. I haven't even eaten yet, so I'm going to go eat something. But thank you for coming in today. Thank you to Sarap, our new friend from Israel, who did send the super chats today. I think it was, what was it? Was it 4 or was it 6? Does anybody remember? But make sure you guys are watching those long form content videos. If you guys are watching on a cell phone, go if you want to use some of your hype points that are free issued to you by YouTube. I think you can hype up to 3 videos a week. I'd really like, I put so much time into this suspect video and people are sending me great messages, but I don't think a lot of people are seeing that for some reason. You always miss my live. I'm sorry, Lisa, but you can listen to it on the playback. Now, it will take a couple of days for the chat to re-upload because YouTube has to process that. And before you do rewatch it, give me about 5 minutes because I have to go turn on the computer and I have to, this is stupid that YouTube does this now, but on a live, I have to then go into the back side of YouTube to YouTube Studio and I have to return on the monetization. So if you guys are planning on watching this from the beginning after I'm done, give me 5 minutes so I can get my desktop booted up and I can, clear it for monetization, and then at least your clicks will count. I've seen it happening to people, specifically to mentally ill homeless people. It blew my mind, made a lot of things make sense. I must have missed something. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Have a happy Easter. Go eat some good food. I'm going to do that myself. Love you all.